The United Nations Refugee Agency has released its latest assessment of Sri Lanka and found that while security in the country is improving, risks remain. The document will guide the Prime Minister's effort to toughen asylum seeker policies, as well as decide whether to resume processing of Sri Lankan claims. The report warns that despite improving conditions, it's too early to end refugee status for the country. From Canberra, Hayden Cooper reports.
Julia Gillard's first fortnight in charge has been a test in conflict resolution, and the next problem to solve is the flow of asylum seekers. Cabinet met to agree on a stronger policy. Even before it's revealed, it's been condemned from both sides.
This is the nation of a fair go. You wouldn't think so listening to Julia Gillard, and you wouldn't think so listening to Tony Abbott and his crew.
And the results speak for themselves. 143 boats. Those boats don't lie, and they say that Labor can't be trusted on border protection.
Julia Gillard's preparing the ground for a shift to the right, wary of an issue that's damaging Labor in crucial suburban electorates.
There's a lot of concern in my community about those high number of people waiting in camps, and for every person who arrives on a boat, that's one less person we take from a camp. So these are not simple matters, these are nuanced matters.
Finding a nuanced response to neutralise the issue is the task ahead for the Prime Minister. One live option is to send more asylum seekers home.
That would be disastrous. I would really fear for the lives of those people who would be returned and their families.
The 3-month freeze on processing Sri Lankan claims ends this week. Advocates say it must be lifted.
It is completely unacceptable for the government to leave these people in indefinite and inhumane detention, which is a clear contravention of international and domestic laws.
Stories of rape and torture in Sri Lanka have been backed up by the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. It's just released its latest report on the country. It finds that some women and children and those suspected of links to the Tamil Tigers remain at risk. And though it concludes that the situation is greatly improved, it finds it does not yet warrant cessation of refugee status. The government will use the report to determine its next move. After the mining tax, this is the second policy fix that Julia Gillard has attempted. But the first is not totally squared away. Not all miners back the new tax regime, and the man who wrote the original version has been left in an awkward position. Ken Henry was a central figure in Kevin Rudd's economic team, but now things could be different.
Was Treasury involved in the negotiations with the three big miners, BHP, Rio and Xstrata, post the change in Prime Minister?
I don't believe we were engaged in any face-to-face... Oh, hang on. No, we certainly had some involvement. Yes, we did. We did have some involvement.
But it was limited, and he's left rueing the 40% tax that got away.
The recommendation has proven not to have sufficient acceptability at this time.
In a debate that's been defined by confrontation, there was more, as Martin Ferguson fronted up to a group of miners unswayed by the New Deal.
You did spend a lot of time and energy, comrade, including ads, about knocking over the whole package.
You know, these massive projects, which are the world's, we think, most valuable undeveloped mining projects, it is a travesty, we think, that tax uncertainty, serious tax uncertainty, still exists over the top of them.
But as long as the big players are on board...
Oh, this is an interesting workout. I've done a lot of tougher meetings in my career.
The rest are no longer such a potent force. Hayden Cooper, Late Line.